Hello, ladies and gentlemen! Vocês acabaram de me ver aí, né? Tô só ajustando a surpresa que eu guardei pra vocês. We'll be starting in about 2 minutes. Enjoy! Welcome to one more live lesson. Hello, everybody. Let me check out the chat. Wow! All these people here already. Hello, hello, hello. If you can hear me well, just type in that you can hear me well. Okay. Let me get ready of this. Let me get rid of this song here. I read somebody there telling me, please give us your playlist. Who? Gilberto. Gilberto said, give us your playlist. Gilberto, this is the playlist I usually play here. They are called as a white label music. What does it mean? It means that songs and music, usually instrumental music, that I download from YouTube that they are copyright free. Okay? So all these tracks that I play here before the class, they are copyright free. So that way our video can be stored in YouTube and nobody will complain about copyright, right? So if you go to YouTube Creator Studio, you will find all the soundtracks that you can include in the videos, in the broadcasts, in the streaming that you can use, right? Okay, so sound is all right? Yes, sound is all right. Welcome once again to one more live lesson. I am Leonardo Leite, and I am here for you, people of VIP English Club by Myro Vergara. Hello, Ana Luisa Alckmin. Ana Luisa Alckmin is our moderator today, as always. And so let's say hello to Ana Luisa, right? And if you are here for the first time, please let me know so I can give you some warm welcome, all right? And if you are watching this live lesson for the first time, you may be a little lost because we've been doing, what? This is magic story number 35, right? So I suggest that you watch all the way, you go all the way back to Magic Story 1, and then you will be able to understand how these lessons work. By the way, it's a lot of material. You guys here at the VIP English Club, you have lots of material, my dear friend. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. With only this material here, you can keep on practicing and training your English forever, right? Forever. Anyway, today is a special day for us English learners, because before being English learners, we are culture learners. We learn the culture of most countries who speak English officially, right? Glages is here for the first time. Glages, welcome. Welcome, my dear friend. Welcome to this environment. You know what? What I need to tell you before I start talking about how special this day is, just relax, make yourself comfortable, and enjoy the show, right? This is a show for you to train, to practice your English. And that's what I am here for, right? To entertain and educate, not really educate, but train you. Consider me as your English trainer, your English coach. Although I teach lots of things here, but Erika Belmonte teaches much more than I do. All right? Okay, good. Good. Guys, today is October 31st. Let me put this, in this screen here. I think it's this one here. Yes. Today, guys, is October. Opa. You gotta see this. Okay. It's October 31st, which means Halloween, guys. Today is Halloween, and it's Halloween all over the world, okay? And I know that Erika, I believe it was last night, that she brought lots of interesting facts, lots of interesting things about Halloween, didn't she? Did you watch Erika's lesson last night? Okay, but I am luckier than she is because today is Halloween, right? So, of course, that our entire lesson will be dedicated to Halloween. And Halloween in Brazil now is getting more popular than ever. about 20 years ago, very few people here in Brazil knew about Halloween or did anything about Halloween. But Halloween in America and in other countries too is a very, very special day, and children love it, adults love it, okay? People really get engaged, get involved in the holiday of Halloween. And by the way, Halloween is not a day off holiday, okay? It's not a day off. And people go to work, people go to school, but they still celebrate Halloween. And we're going to be talking about Halloween here all the time. All the time, right? Today, we're going to have one more magic story based on Dear Abby letters. And of course, that I did my research, I did my homework, looking for Halloween stuff. And at the end of this lesson, I'm going to give you a surprise. So stay tuned, don't go away, because this surprise is going to be really, really cool. All right? Really cool. Really cool. I promise you. I promise you. Are you all here with me? Yes? Is everybody ready? Good. So, something very important here. Let me start recording the audio of this. Okay, good. I'm going to be recording the audio. So let's see. Right here. Okay. I'm going to be recording the audio so I can release the audio very, very quickly to you. By the way, I'm going to be talking. Let me talk to you a little bit about the audio here. You will always have the audio of this lesson to download and listen to the audio wherever you are, wherever you go, and wherever you may be. And you can listen to my lesson, lying on the couch or taking a plane, traveling on the bus, right, on the plane, on the train, in the car. You can listen to this in the car. So I suggest you listen or watch this lesson over again. All right? Good. So now let's take a look at this story here. All right? Let me show you this story. And the name of this story is Macabre House Decor. Macabre House Decor. Now, let me explain this to you. The title of this letter, Macabre House Decor. Macabre is the same as in Portuguese, but the pronunciation is very different. Okay? Macabre. We don't say macabre. No, macabre. Macabre house decor. So it's a macabre house decoration, right? So I'm going to be reading this. It's a very short, very simple letter, and it's funny too, okay? And it's really, really funny. So everybody here, oh, man. Okay, now you can see macabre. Now you can see it. Macabre house decor, decoration. All right? Are you all ready? We're going to start right here. Dear Abby, are you with me? Good. So let's do this. Can you read? Can you read the text on the screen? Is that large enough? Is that big enough? Yes? Okay, good. Good. So let's do this. Dear Abby, we have a neighbor who decorates his yard for Halloween in the worst way imaginable. Every year, it becomes more macabre. He has bodies hanging from tree limbs, gravestones with RIP on dirt mounds, and other unbelievable atrocities. He thinks it's funny. It is despicable, and it scares the children who must walk past his yard. When we ask him not to put such deplorable items in our neighborhood, he doesn't take it seriously. I'm thinking about taking up a collection and bribing him not to put his growing, vulgar display up this year. What can we do? Spooked in Topeka. Dear Spooked, and here comes the answer from Dear Abby. Dear Spooked, here it is. Dear Spooked, what you're describing is a feature of Halloween that many children enjoy. However, you can't protect your children forever. When they're old enough to understand, explain to them that this is all done in the spirit of fun, and it's not real or dangerous. Okay, okay, good. One more time, and I'm going to be explaining a few things here. Before I read this again, and this letter, very simple, right? And very easy. With some, I highlighted some words and phrases here so that we can talk about it. But it's about Halloween, right? And the most important thing that you should take from this reading is my pronunciation. Pay attention to my pronunciation. And when you practice this with your audio, when you download the audio or when you watch this video again, try to imitate my intonation and pronunciation and notice that it is different. Okay? Because if you just read the story like this, we have a neighbor who decorates his yard for Halloween in the worst way imaginable. Every year it becomes more macabre. He has bodies hanging from tree limbs, gravestones with RIP on dirt mounds, and other unbelievable atrocities. It's fucking boring, right? And people will not understand. What people understand is the sound that you make. And it's the pauses that you take. And it's the word stress and sentence stress that you do. What's a word stress? Go and take a look at our first live lesson. Okay? On our first magic story lesson, I explain about word stress and sentence stress. Just to let you know what I'm talking about, let's take a look at this again. I'm going to read it again. Follow my reading. Dear Abby, we have a neighbor who decorates his yard for Halloween in the worst way imaginable. Every year, it becomes more macabre. He has bodies hanging from tree limbs, gravestones with RIP on dirt mounds, and other unbelievable atrocities. He thinks it's funny. It is despicable, and it scares the children who must walk past his yard. When we ask him not to put such deplorable items in our neighborhood, he doesn't take it seriously. I'm thinking about taking up a collection and bribing him not to put his growing vulgar display up this year. What can we do? Spooked in Topeka. Dear Spooked. Dear Spooked. What you're describing is a feature of Halloween that many children enjoy. However, you can't protect your children forever. When they're old enough to understand, explain to them that this is all done in the spirit of fun. And it's not real or dangerous. Now, once again, pay attention to the pronunciation. I'm going to explain the vocabulary here for you. All right? We have a neighbor who decorates, and she writes decorates between quotes because she doesn't like the decoration, right? His yard. Yard is the green part in front of your house or in the back. In the back, we normally call backyard. Okay? This is interesting. Let me put here yard, and then you can have backyard. Let me okay, I'm gonna show you. Don't worry. Here it is. Okay. So, yard, backyard, front yard, or front lawn, or just lawn. Opa. Lawn. Yard, backyard, front lawn, they're all related. The lawn is the grass, is the green part. Okay? So, he decorates his yard for Halloween in the worst way imaginable. The worst way imaginable. What I want to call your attention for imaginable. It's right here. This is the word stress. This is the word stress I was talking about. Okay? Because when you see this word here, imaginable. All right? We don't know if we say imaginable, right? So you must understand the word stress every time you learn a new word. Imaginable, imaginable, in the worst way imaginable. Every year it becomes more macabre. Well, why did I highlight macabre? Again, because of the pronunciation. The meaning is very, very obvious, right? But it's very important that you remember the pronunciation. Macabre. Macabre. Although, it's not one of the most used words in English, okay? He has bodies hanging from tree limbs. And again, bodies pendurados dos galhos das árvores, right? But again, pronunciation here, limbs. The B is silent. We do not pronounce the B, okay? Limbs. Singular, limb. That's it. Few examples here. Limb, lamb, bomb. All these words here, you do not pronounce the B. Okay? More. Numb. Okay? We do not pronounce the B in this word. So limbs. Gravestones with RIP. Gravestones are those stones that you see in the cemetery with the name of the person. RIP is called rest in peace. Okay? Very, very common. We see in all the cemeteries. Rest in peace. Descanse em paz. Okay? So, gravestones with RIP on dirt mounds. Dirt mounds are small mountains, okay? Montezinho of dirt, terra. All right? And other unbelievable atrocities. Okay? Again, pay attention to the pronunciation. Atrocities. He thinks it's funny. It is despicable. Not despicable, okay? Despicable. Something that you shouldn't even worry about. In Portuguese, it's desprezível. It's despicable. And it scares the children who must walk past his yard. Scare is do something like this. Boo! Okay? Did I scare you? Did I scare you? All right, so it scares the children who must walk past his yard. When we ask him not to put such deplorable, you see, The word is very similar to Portuguese, but the pronunciation is very different. All right, deplorable, not deplorable, deplorable. Such deplorable items in our neighborhood. Neighborhood, guys, é o bairro, vizinhança, and so on. He doesn't take it seriously. To take something seriously is to be serious about something. All right? A good phrase in Portuguese is levar a sério, right? So, for example, some people take English learning seriously. Do you take English learning seriously? That's a good phrase for you to learn, okay? I take my English learning seriously. I take my English learning seriously. Or I take my work seriously. I take my workout seriously. Right? Eliette says, very easy today. I just saw it. Very good, Eliette. That's great. I like it. So, he doesn't take it seriously. I'm thinking about taking up a collection. What does that mean? I'm thinking about taking up a collection. To take up a collection is to collect money, okay? You collect money from people, donations. You collect donations in order to do something, all right? Some people also say the phrase fundraising, okay? But fundraising is usually done for charity, right? For social things, or charity, to help a cause. Take up a collection is also for a cause, okay? So it's pretty much the same. Raise funds or take up a collection, right? Let me put this here because this is interesting, okay? Take up a collection, raise funds, and chip in. Lots of interesting phrases today. Take up a collection, raise funds, and chip in. Chip in is different, okay? Chip in, no, not chip in, not like that. It's like this. Chip in. To chip in é o famoso fazer uma vaquinha. Vamos fazer uma vaquinha, okay? That's the chip in. So you chip in to buy a friend, a present, right? You chip in to help a friend or to buy something for somebody, okay? And bribing him not to put his growing vulgar display up this year, okay? To bribe somebody, here. To bribe is to offer money in order to stop somebody from doing something, okay? So, for example, the neighbor always puts up his macabre display and the other neighbor wants him not to do it, so they will offer him money not to do it. In Portuguese is suborno. And because when we talk about suborno, we always think about corruption or politics and so on. No, you can bribe your kid to do something. For example, sometimes I bribe my kid to finish lunch, to finish his or her meal. I offer him or her a lollipop at the end of lunch or dinner or breakfast, okay? So bribe is not that negative. Okay? Got it, right? Good. Oh, says as legendas não estão legíveis. That's because it gets better here. Okay? It's better this way. Good. What can we do? Spooked in Topeka. Do you know where Topeka is? Topeka is a town, is a city in the state of Kansas. All right, in the state of Kansas. Dear Spooked, what you're describing is a feature of Halloween. Feature is a characteristic. It's very common to be found in electronics manuals, users manuals, okay? It describes the features of that machine, for example. Feature is a characteristic, qualities, functions of a certain thing, all right? So what you're describing is a feature of Halloween that many children enjoy. However, remember however? However, entretanto, porém, you can't protect your children forever. When they're old enough to understand, explain to them that this is all done in the spirit of fun. It's not real or dangerous. Very easy, right? Very, very easy. Any questions on this vocabulary? Because it's very simple. And on your PDF, you can find the vocabulary here. All right? Okay? Any questions on the vocabulary? No? Good. Now, let's move on. I created another text, a curiosity thing here about Halloween. And we're going to learn about trick-or-treating and a little bit about Halloween. And then we're going to start asking and answering questions about it. All right? Are you ready? Everybody with me? Okay, good. About Halloween, we're going to start right here. Are you all with me? Good. Halloween, guys, is on October 31st. It's a very popular holiday in the United States. People usually dress in costumes of all kinds, especially macabre costumes like zombies, vampires, monsters, and they go to parties, right? Especially adults, they go to parties at night dressed in costumes like those. Children have a lot of fun on Halloween too. Besides dressing in costumes, they get together, the kids of the same neighborhood, they get together and go around the neighborhood doing the famous trick-or-treating. Do you know what trick-or-treat is? Trick-or-treat, trick-or-treat. Do you know what that is? Well, very simple. Children knock on their neighbor's door and shout, "Trick or treat, trick or treat, trick or treat." And the neighbors must give them candies. Oh, people are anxious today, right? Better now, Glages? Okay, good. Trick or treat, and the neighbors must give them candies, or else the children will play a trick on them or their houses. Something like throwing toilet paper on the roof or scare the family with their macabre costumes. It's a holiday that everybody in the United States and around the world enjoy with friends and family in a very funny way. And And some children or some adolescents, if they don't get the candies, they really mess up with the neighbor's house. They throw toilet paper, wet toilet paper, and they make wet toilet paper and they throw it on the windows and it gets stuck on the windows. And if they have a lot of toilet paper, they can cover the house with toilet paper. It's really serious. It gets nasty sometimes, right? And also during this time of the year, during Halloween, during the week before the holiday, everybody buys big bags of candies and they leave it just by the door because it's all day long the kids knocking on doors saying trick or treating. Okay, it's really cool, really cool. Now I'm gonna read this again, and now everybody can read, and then we're gonna ask and answer questions. All right, here it is. Halloween is on October 31st. It's a very popular holiday in the United States. People usually dress in costumes of all kinds, especially macabre costumes like zombies, vampires, monsters, and they go to parties. Children have a lot of fun on Halloween. Besides dressing in costumes, they get together and they go around the neighborhood doing the famous trick-or-treating. By the way, do you know what trick-or-treat is? Children knock on their neighbors' doors and shout, trick or treat, trick or treat. And the neighbors must give them candies to treat. Or else the children will play a trick on them or their houses. Something like throwing toilet paper on the roof and scare the family with their macabre costumes. It's a holiday that everybody in the United States and around the world enjoy with friends and family in a very funny way. Got it? Good. Now, here comes our exercise. You are going, and this is very important, guys. This is very important. The story was okay, very easy. Now, I'm going to ask you questions about this curiosity thing. And you're going to say the answer to me. This is important. Vou até falar em português para que fique bem claro. Este exercício é para você fazer oralmente comigo. Não precisa escrever a resposta no chat box. You don't have to. Porque eu sei que você sabe a resposta. What I'm not sure is that if you can say the answer. You've got to say the answer. E você pode responder do jeito que você lembrar, do jeito que você quiser. Pode ser curto, pode ser longo, no problem. But you have to look. This is important again. This is important. You have to look me in the eye. You have to look me in the eye and say the answer. For example, when is Halloween? Answer, October 31st. That's it. If you want to say it's on October 31st, no problem. If you want to say it's on the 31st of October, no problem. But you've got to say it. You've got to say it. Okay? Ready? Good. Here, we're going to start now. Microphone closer to me. I'm going to get closer here. All right. Okay. Here we go. When is Halloween? Yes, very good. It's on October 31st. What do people celebrate, or how do people celebrate Halloween? How do people celebrate Halloween? Dress in costumes. They dress in macabre costumes. They dress in different costumes. They go to parties. Very good. What kind of costume do they wear? Macabre costumes, or various or many kinds of costumes. Now, let me ask you this. Do the children enjoy Halloween too? Yes, they do. What do they do? What do the children do in Halloween? They go trick or treating. Very good. Or if you want to explain, they knock on the neighbor's door and they shout trick or treating. If the neighbor gives them candies, they won't play a trick on the neighbor. You can explain, but the right answer is they go trick or treating. All right? And do people celebrate Halloween in other countries? Yes or no? Yes, they do. People celebrate Halloween in other countries. Good. So now, here's what you're going to do. Nós vamos fazer de novo. E agora eu não vou dar muito tempo para você responder. Você vai conversar comigo. All right? Good. Here we go. When is Halloween? How do people celebrate Halloween? What kind of costume do they wear? Do the children enjoy Halloween too? What do the children do on Halloween? Do people celebrate Halloween in other countries? Great. Great. So now, the second part is that you are going to retell this story here. Você vai recontar. You're going to retell this story here. Só que você não vai olhar para esta story here. Você vai olhar para these questions. So you look at the question and you retell the story. Eu vou fazer para você ver como é e você vai fazer alone, sozinho ou sozinha. All right? Here it is. You look at the question. All right. Halloween is on October 31st. People dress in costumes to celebrate Halloween. They dress in macabre costumes like vampires and zombies. Children enjoy the holiday too. Besides dressing in costumes, they go trick or treating. People from all over the world also celebrate Halloween. So you are going to do this alone, sem olhar para o texto. So you're gonna look at me or look at the mirror, or look wherever you want, menos o texto, and say, ok, eu agora vou falar sobre Halloween in English. Good. So you look at the mirror or you look at me and say, Halloween is on October 31st. People celebrate Halloween dressing in different costumes. They dress in macabre costumes like vampires, zombies, and monsters. And they go to parties too. Children love Halloween too. They dress up in costumes too, but they also go trick-or-treating when they knock on the neighbor's door and say trick-or-treating, and the neighbor must give them candies or else they will play a trick on the neighbor. This kind of holiday, this Halloween, is also celebrated by many different people all over the world. Desta forma, você pratica falar sobre alguma coisa que você acabou de aprender, cujo vocabulário é muito fácil. So the practice, o treino real disso, eu coloquei ele bem fácil para você realmente abrir a boca. Alright? Open your mouth and say it. Good? Second part. Second part. You are going to ask the questions. Here, you're going to ask the questions. Here's the answer. And you are going to ask the question. Very simple. It's on October 31st. Question. When is Halloween? Dressing costumes go to parties. What do people normally do on Halloween? Macabre costumes. What kind of costumes do they wear? The children enjoy Halloween. Do the children enjoy Halloween too? Go trick-or-treating. What do children do on Halloween? Yes, all over the world. Do people celebrate Halloween in other countries too? Simple, isn't it? Very simple. So, this way you can talk about Halloween and you can ask questions about Halloween, right? You can also ask questions about Halloween going like this. Question, when is Halloween? Oh, Halloween is on October 31st. And what do people do on how do people celebrate Halloween? They dress in costumes. What kind of costumes do they wear? Oh, they wear zombies, vampires, monsters, macabre costumes. Do children enjoy Halloween too? Yes, children enjoy Halloween too. What do children do on Halloween? Oh, they go trick-or-treating. Oh, very nice. Do people celebrate Halloween in other countries too? Yes, Halloween nowadays is celebrated all over the world. You see, it's very, very simple and you can practice. This is for you to practice. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Let's see if you have any questions. No? Are you ready for the surprise? It's very easy, right? So this is for you to practice, not to learn. Okay? This is good for training, not for learning. But as you train, as you practice, your English becomes more and more fluent. This is a typical fluent exercise. Exercise. Okay? Good. You're all ready? Guys, let me explain to you this surprise. 1 or 2 years ago, I made a video in my YouTube channel explaining and talking about Halloween, right? I'm gonna play this video. It's about 15 minutes. It's about 15 to 19 minutes, okay? And it's a fun video. I'm going to explain a lot of vocabulary on it, and I hope you enjoy. Are you ready? Good. At the end of this video, I'll come back and I'll give you the link so you can watch this video later on. Again. All right? Good. So now let's see if we can do this. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm still setting this up here. I am still setting up. Guys, if the sound is too low, if the volume is too soft, let me know in the chat box and I can turn it up. All right?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to one more very special lesson by agorafalo.com. This is Leonardo Leite, and today we are celebrating Halloween. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is one more lesson, and this is a very special lesson in which we are going to talk about Halloween. Yes, my dear friend, this sound that you can hear in the background is a suspense sound. Mais uma vez, seja bem-vindo, seja muito bem-vinda a mais uma lição especial do Agora Eu Falo. Hoje é October 30th, exatamente um dia antes de Halloween. E eu encontrei este vídeo no canal do History Channel. Vocês podem ir lá no canal do History Channel e assistir esse vídeo. Na verdade, é um vídeo que conta sobre a história do Halloween. Antes de você treinar com este vídeo, que está todo em inglês, obviamente, eu vou passar um pouco, vou explicar um pouco o que você vai escutar neste vídeo, e na hora que você ouvir, você vai perceber que você vai estar muito mais familiarizado ou familiarizada com as coisas que vão ser ditas no vídeo, ok? Então, na verdade, it's the ancient history of Halloween. Então, é a história ancestral do Halloween, como que o Halloween começou. Certo? Então tá aí, ó, Origins of Halloween. Bom, no começo do vídeo você vai observar que ele vai dizer que há 2000 anos, mais ou menos 2000 anos atrás, The Celtic Festival, é o festival celta. Os celtas eram há 2000 anos atrás era o povo que habitava a região que hoje é a Irlanda, o Reino Unido e ainda um pedaço do norte da França. Okay? São os celtas. E havia esse Celtic Festival of Samhain. Samhain, como você pode observar, escreve-se assim, né? E pronuncia-se assim, Samhain. Então, na verdade, a origem mesmo, a principal, vem deste festival celta Samhain. E que você vai escutar, Celtic Festival of Samhain. Há mais ou menos 2000 years ago, ok? Bom, e o porquê do Halloween ser celebrado no dia 31 de outubro? É porque esse pessoal, os celtas, eles eles celebravam o ano novo deles no dia 1º de novembro. O dia 1º de novembro era praticamente o primeiro dia do ano novo deles. Que, para eles, o que significava? Era o fim do verão, the end of summer and the beginning of winter. Na verdade, o fim do verão para eles significava o fim da colheita, o fim da fartura, da bonança, das coisas boas, certo? E o beginning of winter, as pessoas associavam o inverno como tempo sombrio, frio, de escassez, muitas vezes lembrando a morte mesmo, certo? Bom, e na verdade, sempre na véspera, no dia 31 de outubro, eles acreditavam que os mortos retornariam para a Terra como fantasmas. E aí que começa realmente a história do Halloween, right? Então, as pessoas, inclusive, vou até voltar aqui, as pessoas, inclusive, elas colocavam no dia 31, na véspera do ano novo, que é quando eles achavam que os fantasmas voltariam, os mortos voltariam, as pessoas colocavam comidas e bebidas na porta das casas para não deixar os fantasmas entrarem, e também na hora que eles saíam, eles se vestiam de fantasma, eles colocavam aquelas máscaras, aqueles lençóis, para os fantasmas se confundirem. Olha que coisa engraçada, certo? Tudo isso era feito na véspera, onde eles achavam que os mortos retornariam. Bom, ainda tem muita coisa sobre isso, mas vamos avançar algum tempo para frente, quando o Império Romano dominou a região e começou a trazer o catolicismo. Então, os romanos começaram a introduzir nesse mesmo dia do dia 1º de novembro, né, o dia de Todos os Santos, All Saints Day. E aí eles mudaram para All Hallows Day. All Hallows é a mesma coisa que All Saints. Saints and Hallows é a mesma coisa, ok? E aí, como eles começavam a fazer essas atividades de colocar a comida, sair na rua vestido de fantasma, eles faziam isso na véspera. Então, eles começaram a chamar de All Hallows Eve. A partir daí, All Hallows Eve, surgiu o Halloween. Foi só encurtando a frase toda e virou uma palavra só, Halloween. Bom, então aí vem a origem, basicamente, do Halloween. Algumas palavras interessantes que você vai escutar neste vídeo são algumas que a gente já conhece, que é o trick or treating. Trick or treating é quando as pessoas, geralmente, nowadays, as crianças fazem muito isso, né? Elas vão de casa em casa no dia 31 de outubro, vestido lá com os costumes delas, dizendo trick or treat, que é pedindo doces ou dinheiro ao invés de uma travessura. Então, se você não me der um dinheiro ou uma comida, eu vou fazer uma travessura. E isso no começo, nos Estados Unidos, era uma loucura, porque muita gente começou a fazer vandalismo mesmo. Jogar papel higiênico molhado nas casas, cobrir as casas inteiras, as árvores da calçada, tudo de vandalismo mesmo, sabe, pro Halloween. Depois de um certo tempo, que depois dos anos 50, mais ou menos, é que os governos e tudo começaram a incentivar que o Halloween fosse um evento mais focado, que é o que eles chamam de Child or Children-Centered Event, que é mais focado para a família, para as crianças e tudo mais. O trick or treating é isso. O bobbing for apples é uma atividade muito comum, também bem infantil assim, mas que os adultos também adoram brincar. Parece até uma gincana, né? Bobbing for apples é quando você tenta pegar a maçã com a boca numa bacia de água. Isso é que é bobbing for apples. Se você entrar lá no site do History Channels, inclusive, eles dão o porquê do bobbing for apples. Teve uma transição tradições celtas e romanas para depois entrar o catolicismo. E não sei se você sabe, no dia 2 de novembro também, para nós aqui, é o Dia dos Mortos também, não é verdade? Você vai escutar também eles falando de parades. Parades são aquelas... a parada mesmo, né? Igual tem de 7 de setembro na independência do Brasil, tem a Halloween Parade. Halloween Parade is very, very common in the United States and Ireland. E agora tudo quanto é lugar é muito comum. As pessoas saem na rua vestidas, parece um desfile de carnaval. Right? Family friendly activities é o que hoje praticamente o Halloween é. É uma atividade que é feita para famílias, onde os vizinhos se reúnem, as famílias se reúnem para brincar, distribuir doces para as crianças e festejar, né? Bom, nesse vídeo você vai aprender duas palavras, na verdade. Uma é souling e a outra é guising. Nessa transição das tradições, o souling é quando as pessoas começavam a entregar comida ou dinheiro em troca por reza pelos mortos. Então você vai observar isso. E também o souling é quando, dentro da tradição do Halloween, nessa tradição, as pessoas davam dinheiro e comida para outras pessoas cantarem, recitar poesia e entre outras coisas artísticas também. O guising é quando as pessoas, que é praticamente o que as crianças fazem hoje, elas saem vestidas de algum costume, pode ser de terror ou não, saem pedindo doces ou balas, mas em troca eles faziam essas atividades artísticas, como cantar, recitar poesia e tudo mais. Isso é o guising. O souling é mais para reza, é onde você pede para rezar para os mortos. Bom, tá dada a explicação. Eu espero que você goste de assistir este vídeo, e logo depois que terminar este vídeo, eu vou tocar ele de novo fazendo alguns comentários, ok? All right, my dear friend, have fun.
When most people think of Halloween, they think of trick-or-treating, parades, bobbing for apples, and other family-friendly activities. But bet you didn't know the true story behind the ancient origins of Halloween. It all goes back some 2,000 years to the ancient Celtic festival known as Samhain, celebrated on November 1st. On the night before Samhain, people believed that the dead returned as ghosts. They would leave food and wine on their doorsteps to keep roaming spirits at bay, and wear masks when they left the house so they would be mistaken for fellow ghosts. The Christian Church turned Samhain into All Saints' Day, or All Hallows, in the 8th century.
Peraí que o vídeo travou. Eu vou voltar aqui no vocabulário, ó.
Você vai escutar também eles falando de parades. Parades são aquelas... a parada mesmo, né? Igual tem de 7 de setembro na independência do Brasil, tem a Halloween Parade.
Na verdade é o seguinte, tudo aquilo que eu expliquei é sobre o trick or treating, bobbing for apples. O engraçado é que o áudio foi, mas o vídeo ficou. Eu escrevi aqui, tá? Então, depois que vocês assistirem o vídeo novamente, vocês vão poder ver. Então, eu coloquei, tá vendo? O vocabulário, ele vem passando aqui, ó. Foi onde eu explico o souling e o guising, tá? Então, agora eu vou passar direto para o vídeo. Aqui. Muito bem. Então, vamos ao vídeo.
Eu espero que você goste de assistir este vídeo, e logo depois que terminar este vídeo, eu vou tocar ele de novo fazendo alguns comentários, ok? All right, my dear friend, have fun.
When most people think of Halloween, they think of trick-or-treating, parades, bobbing for apples, and other family-friendly activities. But bet you didn't know the true story behind the ancient origins of Halloween. It all goes back some 2,000 years to the ancient Celtic festival known as Samhain, celebrated on November 1st. On the night before Samhain, people believed that the dead returned as ghosts. They would leave food and wine on their doorsteps to keep roaming spirits at bay, and wear masks when they left the house so they would be mistaken for fellow ghosts. The Christian church turned Samhain into All Saints' Day, or All Hallows, in the 8th century. The night before became All Hallows' Eve, later shortened to Halloween. You've heard of trick-or-treating on Halloween, but what about souling or guising? All three of these traditions originated in medieval Britain. On All Souls' Day, November 2nd, the needy would beg for pastries known as soul cakes. In return, they would pray for people's dead relatives. This was called souling. In the medieval Halloween tradition of guising, young people would dress up in costume and accept food, wine, money, and other offerings in exchange for singing, reciting poetry, or telling jokes. In 19th century America, Irish and Scottish immigrants revived these old traditions. The result was trick-or-treating. At first, it was much more about the tricks, in the form of pranks and hijinks, than the treat. It wasn't until the 1950s that the custom took a current family-friendly, kid-centered form. Today, Halloween is big business, with U.S. consumers spending more than $2.5 billion on costumes annually. Add in the candy, and it's estimated that Americans spend up to $6 billion on Halloween each year, making it the second most commercial holiday after Christmas. So whether you're a fan of tricks, treats, or trivia, there's a bit of Halloween history.
We bet you didn't know!
When most people think of Halloween, they think of trick-or-treating, parades, bobbing for apples, and other family-friendly activities.
Então tá aí, as atividades. Trick-or-treating, bob for apples, family-friendly activities, que eu falei logo no começo, né? Atividades que incluem toda a família.
But bet you didn't know the true story behind the ancient origins of Halloween. It all goes...
I bet you didn't know é um quadro que tem no History Channel que é sempre de curiosidades. Bet you didn't know é o seguinte, eu aposto que você não sabia.
Back some 2,000 years to the ancient Celtic festival known as Samhain, celebrated on November 1st. On the night before Samhain, people believed that the dead returned as ghosts.
The dead returned as ghosts. As I explained in the beginning, right? They thought that on the day before November 1st, October 31st, people believed that the dead returned to Earth as ghosts.
They would leave food and wine on their doorsteps to keep roaming spirits at bay, and wear masks when they left the house so they would be mistaken for fellow ghosts.
Viu? É aquela história que eu contei. Eles deixavam vinho, comida na porta e também saíam vestidos de ghosts para os fantasmas de verdade confundirem.
The Christian church turned Samhain into All Saints' Day, or All Hallows, in the 8th century. The night before became All Hallows' Eve.
Aí, ó, All Hallows' Eve. Eve é sempre a véspera. Então tem Christmas Eve, é a véspera de Natal. New Year's Eve. Então muitas pessoas celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve. The New Year's party is usually on New Year's Eve.
According to Halloween. You've heard of trick-or-treating on Halloween, but what about souling or guising?
Aí vem o souling and guising.
All three of these traditions originated in medieval Britain.
In medieval Britain, pay attention to the pronunciation, okay? Medieval Britain. Okay? É a Grã-Bretanha medieval, Inglaterra medieval.
On All Souls' Day, November 2nd,
All Souls' Day, November 2nd. Ou seja, é igual hoje nós comemoramos aqui, né? No dia 2 de novembro, é o dia de todas, aqui é o finados, né? E na Inglaterra eles chamam de All Souls' Day.
would beg for pastries known as soul cakes. In return, they would pray for people's dead relatives. This was called souling.
É isso aí. É vender os soul cakes. Elas faziam bolos e trocavam esses bolos, esses soul cakes, por orações, preces para os falecidos, os mortos. Se você observar aqui, tá escrito The Deceased, que são os falecidos. Aqui embaixo é No More Plague, que é não mais pragas, né? Não, sem pragas. No More Famine. Famine é fome mesmo, a fome que mata, ok? E o Good Weather, que é o bom clima.
In the medieval Halloween tradition of guising, young people would dress up in costume and accept food, wine, money, and other offerings in exchange for singing, reciting poetry, or telling jokes.
É isso aí. O guising é nada mais nada menos que as pessoas saindo na rua vestidas customizadas e em troca de dinheiro, comida ou bebida, eles contavam piadas, cantavam músicas, recitavam poesias. Artistas, né?
In 19th century America, Irish and Scottish immigrants revived these old traditions. The result was trick-or-treating.
Então, o trick-or-treating foi nada mais nada menos do que os escoceses e os irlandeses revivendo o Halloween.
At first, it was much more about the tricks.
E aí tá, no começo era isso aí que vocês estão vendo na tela. O pessoal jogando papel higiênico, ovo na janela, era um problema.
Pranks and hijinks.
Esses pranks and hijinks são essas sacanagens aí que vocês estão vendo.
It wasn't until the 1950s that the custom took on its current family-friendly, kid-centered form.
É isso. Então foi só depois dos anos 50 que o Halloween pegou essa coisa mais de envolver as crianças, envolver a família, uma coisa mais amigável e menos vandalismo.
Today, Halloween is big business, with U.S. consumers spending more than $2.5 billion on costumes annually.
E essa parte é a parte onde o vídeo fala da parte comercial do Halloween hoje, né? O tanto de dinheiro que o Halloween movimenta.
Add in the candy, and it's estimated that Americans spend up to $6 billion on Halloween each year, making it the second most commercial holiday after Christmas. So whether you're a fan of tricks, treats, or trivia, there's a bit of Halloween history.
We bet you did.
Só uma coisa aqui, tricks, treats or trivia. Trivia é esse conhecimento, essas curiosidades que a gente tá aprendendo agora.
No!
All right, guys. I really hope you have enjoyed this, right? Agora você já sabe tudo que se trata o vídeo. Volte naquele primeiro vídeo, pode voltar para lá e assista ele novamente sem as minhas explicações e você vai.
All right. Cool, isn't it? Very nice. Very nice. Did you like it? Let me open the chat box here again. Okay, guys, this was the surprise. I recorded this video, I don't know, about 2 years ago. Yes, I recorded it in 2015. We are in 2018. Yes, I recorded this video in 2018. I don't even show this video anymore. But as we had this class on October 31st, I decided that you should see it. And if you want, here is the link. If you want to see this video again, I'm gonna put it here and you can go straight to the video. All right, it's right there on the chat box. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for coming. If you have no more questions, we're going to wrap up this class and we're going to enjoy the rest of our Halloween. Okay? I hope you enjoy. If you are doing something or if you have ever done something for Halloween, let us know. Let us know down in the comments here or let us know in the comments in the VIP English Club portal. All right? Guys, thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed this and I wish you the best. Okay? Thank you so much and I'll see you next class. Bye now. Music. There you go.